My name is Mike Tholfsen. I work on the Microsoft education team on the product management side, and lots of my colleagues are here today with me, and we're going to talk about what's new in Microsoft EDU for April. And here's the agenda. We're going to start with Teams, go to M365, and then end with Windows 11 and Q&A. So to start us out with Microsoft Teams, big thing we announced about a week or two ago is Viva Connections for Education. So for those of you familiar with Viva Connections already in SharePoint in the commercial world and Teams, we've brought this to EDU to really be a hub for students to get information about the school. And the way Viva Connections works is it has some web parts, so things like announcements or your calendar, almost like a little dashboard you can see here. And there's a feed that the school can have, so interesting news happening in the school. And it's also mobile accessible, of course. And so this is something that is free. It's something that the IT administrators can set up and wire. So in the top left of a team, a class team, let's say, you can have that Viva Connections for EDU for, you can customize the label and give it an icon. So this could be great to really help spread that school information across the board and let students have a nice little place to access useful stuff. That is in preview now, and it's going to be rolling out more broadly in the next couple of months. The other big announcement that we recently made is that the new Teams, while it's not available broadly yet, it's going to start rolling out shortly. So the new Teams is a major update and almost a rewrite of the guts of Teams. And it's going to be faster, slimmer, simpler, and smarter. And what that really means is it's going to boot 2 times as fast as the current Teams. And it's going to use 50% less memory. And we've got a lot of feedback from schools in particular that on a lower end device, Teams desktop is not always the absolute best snappy experience. And so we're trying to make it way better. And for education, you're going to have access, if you're in our TAP program, in the coming weeks, I believe you'll have the option to turn it on. So it's not going to be on by default, but if you want to try it out, you'll be able to. Rolling into the summer and into the fall, there'll be the ability for IT admins to turn that on and let people join into the new Teams. It won't be forced on, so you'll have the choice. And then later into 2024, it'll be the default, and you'll have more phases along the way. So you don't have to jump in and do everything at once. It's kind of up to the schools. And to see what it looks like, I'm going to play this short little video.
These days, you need tools with the speed, simplicity, and intelligence to keep up with the pace of collaboration. That's why we're introducing the new Teams, redesigned from the ground up and built on a new foundation of speed and performance to give you a modern workplace. Working together has never been easier with a simplified and streamlined Teams experience, ensuring that you stay in the flow across all your chats, meetings, apps, and accounts. With everything you need all in one place, you can focus on what matters most to you. With Teams, you can come together without friction and see everyone eye to eye, even when it's time to present. Now you can let the conversation come with you, keeping everyone and everything in one place. And connect seamlessly with anyone, even if they're outside of your organization. The new Teams is more intelligent than ever, infused with next-gen AI from top to bottom. You can run more effective meetings by getting up to speed and getting answers, all without interrupting the flow of the discussion. And keep you and your team on the same page afterwards. You can give Teams custom touches to match your preferences and lift up the team with new ways to celebrate, no matter where you are. Teams is your modern workplace, reimagined from the ground up to be faster, simpler, and smarter, so your team and business can thrive.
So hopefully that gives you a good sense of what the new Teams is going to look like. A lot of great stuff there. And now I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Leif Brenne, who's going to talk about some of the latest updates in assignments. So Leif, stage is yours.
Very much, Mike, and excited to see this new Teams updates, as I said, coming up soon for education as well. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that's coming up in assignment. Now, if you've been paying attention to what's been announced last couple months, we have announced things like Classwork and grading categories. So we're now updating our grid experience for assignments to kind of support all these new areas for settings in assignment. Also want to focus on making more space for instructions and images in assignments, as well as quickly kind of do stuff like scheduling directly from assignment as well. So it's a new kind of great experience that we are rolling out this month. Secondary, one of our key asks that we have asked for teachers, sorry, from educators, has been the ability to archive or move assignments off the plate from students when you're done with it. So that could be, maybe I'm done with the module for this week, I need more information there, or it could be I want to maybe have all physical copies coming in, but I don't want to have to go through the whole thing of students submitting it to me and I return back to students. I just want to remove it off the plate. So we're now adding a new feature in assignment called Mark as Inactive, and what it will do is move things directly for teachers to do, moving from the student and teacher's plate out to their completed work. So let's do a quick demo on how that works. So let's first talk about the create experience. So the create experience was launched before. I'm going to use assignments here. And inside here, we have again focus on title, but a big space for instructions, because you know that's important for teachers to give kind of good, clear instructions for our students. And on top here, we have the kind of things that you can set up default to, like notifications or calendar updates going forward. And on the right side, we do all kind of other settings that are common for your teacher as well. So let's just add some content here. I'll do my pro tip: using Windows and V gives you a history from a lot of copies in the first place. Always a good tool to use. So I'm adding some text in my assignment here. If I get it even better, there we go. And then maybe you want to add an image of, a polar bear as well. Always good to see those guys having fun. In this case, not so fun. But anyway, this is just a way to show you kind of how much instructions we are adding to your assignments. And of course, now we have the ability to, in addition to add documents as before, we have all the ability for schedule time and due date for the assignment, set which kind of class you want to use for it. We can, of course, do multiple classes and assignments. If you want to show it to the group students or individual students, so forth, basically. So in this case, I'm going to make this due date for next Thursday. And I want to make this a point assignment. And now with a new grading category, which is rolling out for all of you, I can now choose which grading categories will be as well. So this is an assessment. And then we also add the ability now to schedule. You can schedule from the edit timeline, or just having a drop down here to choose schedule assignment in the future. So I will schedule this to come up on Monday next week. And that's when it's coming up. So quickly way to do both the schedule, the setup things in the first place. So let's schedule assignment for you. And we will show that in the upcoming work. Now, the other thing we're doing here is the ability to focus on teacher productivity. So one thing we're looking at is adding a new tab called Ready to Grade. So Ready to Grade is a new tab that shows you any assignment that students have submitted work for you that you have not worked on yet. So this is a one-stop shop, either for your team or for across all the classes, to see any assignment you need to do work on. So if I go into my essay right now, this thing, I can see that I have 2 works that need to do returned back to the student as well. Now, it can also be things that are past due as well. So as I said before, we have now been able to see all assignments that are past due that students has not worked on yet. So this is basically tips for yourself to give either hint to the students, or in this case, let's say I had this test, which was just a test in my classroom, and it's not they didn't do it, they just have to do it on physical in the classroom. I just want to have the ability to actually block them from list. So a new feature right now is called Mark as Inactive. I can choose Mark as Inactive right now. And what this will do is automatically make this assignment completed on the student side and return on the teacher side. So it's no more in the assignment list. So basically it's no more. Nice way to clean up the list for you. Let's mark it inactive, and now it's gone from my list as well. So that's how you do the flow from doing both the ready to grade to see upcoming stuff, past due, and also make things as inactive. And with that, I'm going back to, I believe, Samantha, right?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take control. So the first thing that I'm talking about is Polls app now being supported in channel meetings. So now you can just easily add this to your channel meeting and assess how your students are doing in real time, check in, ask a question, all of that. So in this video here, it's showing the process of creating that channel meeting and then adding polls. So now you'll be able to add a poll while you're actually having a meeting, going through lecture, checking in for those sort of real-time knowledge checks and things like that, which is so exciting. Yeah, very, very excited about being able to bring polls into the channel meetings experience where it previously wasn't, but this is available now. So feel free to go check this out, set up a channel meeting and start using polls. So in this case, I've added polls and I'm going to set up a new poll. One of the suggestions is, how are you feeling today? So I'm going to go ahead and add that one here and just check in with my students in real time. So really, really excited about this update here. The next thing that I'm excited to talk about is our Classwork app. So I have talked about this on a previous What's New in EDU session, but this is just, this is a big thing that we're doing. We're really excited about it. We want to make sure that we're talking about it as much as possible so that as many people as possible get to hear about it. But Classwork is our new sort of curriculum management app that allows you to organize your content into modules, drag and drop, create new content, organize existing content, including assignments, files, class notebook pages, web links, channels, and more. So I'll go ahead and play this video as well. So this is what the Classwork app looks like. I'm able to scroll through and see all of my modules of content here. As you can see in my modules, I have assignments, I have YouTube links, I have PDFs and PowerPoints, and even links out to channels. And all of that is configurable by the educator. So I can rearrange, drag and drop, show whatever view I want to my students. So this is the flow of creating a new module. And then I can add resources here. So as you can see, I have files. I can also add an assignment. I have the option to either create a new assignment or add one that I've already created. So in this case, I'm adding an assignment from this class. I'm going to add a couple more resources here. And then I'm also going to show the process of creating a brand new assignment from Classwork as well. So we want to make this really flexible. You can add existing content, create new content, any way that you want to work. We want to make sure that we're supporting that. I want to highlight that this module that I created of content is in the draft state, but I have that publish button. So the draft state means it's only available to me and my co-educators at the moment. But when I hit publish, all of that content will become available to students. So that's the other great thing. I can create as many modules as I want, fill them with content, build out my entire plan for the term, and then release that content to students as I want it to be available to them. So I don't have to release everything all at once, which is awesome. And then I can also pin an important module to the top. So again, my video is being weird here, but you should be able to see the video afterwards when you're able to download the deck and see all of this content and see what it looks like to publish and pin modules as well. So that will mean that whatever module I have pinned in my list will rise to the top and be the first one that loads for my students and the first one that my students see. So we're really excited about Classwork. I'm happy to answer questions about it in the chat. And we're heading into private preview next month. So we're exactly a month away from bringing this to our top community. If you are involved, if you are in our top community, you'll have access to this. And if you want to get involved, please reach out to me and I'd love to connect you. And then lastly, parent-teacher meetings, which is another exciting update. So this is if your school is using the Parents app in Teams, the educator will see this and be able to now really seamlessly schedule parent-teacher meetings. And then whichever is the parent's preferred contact method, be that email or something else, they'll get an easy link to join that Teams meeting so they can go ahead and very easily join that parent-teacher meeting. So this is just a cool new feature we've added to that parent's experience. I'll now hand it over to Ann to talk about Flip events.
Awesome. Well, hello and thank you, Sam. Let me take control and grab the deck here. Everybody, it's so nice to see you. Thank you for joining in. My name is Ann Kozma. I am one of the educator innovation leads here at Microsoft, and I'm so excited to be sharing with you a little bit about our upcoming Flip events. We've teamed up with our incredible partners at Microsoft Take Lessons and want to make you aware of the incredible programming that we have available for you. So this is an opportunity where we hope to bring the world to your classrooms, your living rooms, your kitchen, wherever it is you may be tuning in from, joining in for these events. They are 30 minutes of fun and learning where we welcome guests, authors, museums, organizations, and so much more. So anytime I have the opportunity to talk about Flip, I love reminding everybody that we're simply on a mission to make learning fun and engaging. And we hope that these events help you do that with your community. So I mentioned 30 minutes. It's fun, it's lively, it's entertaining, it's informative, but these are unique experiences literally for you, your students, your learning community, or you and your family, whoever it is you want to learn alongside with. And of course, all of these are free. The programming is free for everybody. You simply tune in on your browser. We host a fully moderated chat, so you should feel safe and welcome to ask your questions of our guests. And of course, we make extension activities available for everybody that you can access on Flip before or after the event. So if you cannot join live, do not worry. You can watch these events anytime on demand. So it's been really cool. This last year, we've had the honor of welcoming so many incredible people and organizations. And a quick snapshot, you can see all these smiling faces on screen. Some of the guests we've welcomed, from Steph Curry to Mary Pope Osborne, Justin Baldoni. We've welcomed the Pulitzer Center, Scholastic, Dr. Bernice King. We've celebrated Dot Day, connected with author Rick Riordan of the Percy Jackson series. We've written poems with the amazing Amanda Gorman, met luminaries like Dr. Ibram X. Kendi, and we've even traveled from the Arctic to Mount Everest at base camp. We've gone underwater with California State Parks. So we would just love for you to be part of these. And if you're looking for a little bit of extra magic or inspiration or joy, that's what these events are all about. So I want to take a moment and sneak peek some of our upcoming April events. We're going to be welcoming our guests from Junk Couture, who will be talking about eco-anxiety and sustainability. Of course, we'd love for you to celebrate Earth Day with us as we welcome Dr. Rachel Louise Tilling, who is a polar scientist with NASA and is going to be talking all about satellite technology and how that's being used to understand climate change. Lots of folks right now are very curious about how to get started with artificial intelligence and search. So be sure to join in as we have Microsoft's own Dina Saunders, who's going to be talking about the new Bing and how that leverages AI capabilities, chat, and GPT-based technology to empower users worldwide. And then we're going to be welcoming New York Times best-selling and award-winning author illustrator Ryan Higgins, who's going to be talking about his new book and even teaching us how to draw some of the characters. Then, of course, if you love to plan ahead, plan to join us as we welcome another New York Times bestselling author, Brad Montague, who's taking us on an epic journey of imagination. And May 9th, we have a special event to celebrate educators who are real life heroes. And our own rock star hosts will be Sonia De La Fosse and Mike Tholfsen. So that's going to be a really special event we'd love to have you be a part of. We welcome another incredible New York Times bestselling author, John Cho, digging into his new book. And then we'd love for you to celebrate World Turtle Day with us and our friends from the South Carolina Aquarium. So May 22nd is the last date. I'm going to note special event with Holly Clark discussing AI in education and practical tips and ideas how to get started and how to use this. So a ton of incredible offerings for you to join in on. And of course, if you cannot join live, these are all available on demand. You can watch at your convenience or whenever it is that makes sense for you. So how do you get started? Where do you find all of this? You can head to aka.ms/flip events and register to join us or get those on-demand links. And folks, thanks for checking out all the stuff that's new in EDU, and I'm going to toss it over to Emma now.
Thank you so much, Anne. I know I'm personally excited now that I know these Flip events are open for everyone to start attending them myself. Let's kick this off with an exciting partnership So Microsoft's Hacking STEM group has partnered with Club for the Future, which is a nonprofit from Blue Origin, to highlight the data science process and how it can be used to determine a go or a no-go scenario for the launch of a Blue Origin New Shepard rocket. So we know that as technology is advancing and we're collecting more and more data and there's more we can do with it, we really want to make sure we're empowering our students to work with that data and to feel empowered to be creative and to come up with new solutions with it. And so these are skills that won't just benefit them in school, but also in life. Now, this is exciting because you can find a free interactive Excel workbook, which was the product of this partnership, along with other classroom materials and resources and curriculum, all by going to aka.ms/Excel data science. It's also aligned with NGSS, ISTE, and CTSA learning standards, so you know that whatever you're teaching is aligned with the goals of your greater sort of school boards and organizations. Next up, another exciting partnership, this one I'm very, very stoked about, is the Reflect team and Minecraft EDU have come together to create an entire Reflect world in Minecraft for education. And so this is a world that will help students develop social and emotional skills through a creative and immersive experience. Students can collaborate, communicate, and problem solve and do all these things while navigating an exciting brand new world in Minecraft for EDU. Next up, we have Search Coach Learning Resources. This one is near and dear to my heart. I announced Search Coach as one of our newest information literacy learning accelerators at one of our past webinars a couple of months ago now. It was back in February. But for educators who are looking to get started with this in the classroom, we've collected a number of resources, lesson plans, and other great tools from around the internet and from other organizations to help you get started with teaching information literacy in your classroom. And so that's at aka.ms/search coach lesson. We also have search progress coming up soon. And if anyone's interested in getting on a private preview for that, so building Search Coach into your assignments, you can drop a message in the chat and or send me an email. I'll drop that in the chat as well, and I can follow up with you there. Next up, we have Whiteboard. Now, Whiteboard has been working really hard to build in all sorts of new features, and this one is called Follow Me. So you can see as the educator is navigating around their whiteboard, their students have an option to click accept. I think the teacher invites them to follow them, and all of a sudden you can follow their pane around the screen. And so this is a really good way if you want to show people what you've already worked on or lead a discussion in a specific area. The Follow Me feature is there to make that so much easier for you. So students won't get lost in the corner of a whiteboard somewhere. We also have loop components. These are showing up everywhere. They're in Teams and Outlook. They're in your documents. And now they're also in your whiteboards. And so wherever you go, loop is going to follow, and it just makes collaboration that much easier. This one is very satisfying. Our velocity eraser, you'll see as you move your cursor faster. We know you want to get the job done. It's just going to make that so much more quick. You can see it gets bigger and bigger the quicker you're moving your cursor. Just little things to make it more delightful and easier to use, so you're not just dragging that around and worrying about getting every last piece of your writing there. And finally, a highly requested feature, the timer. You can now run timed activities in Whiteboard, whether they're brainstorms or polls, and you can set that up, and everyone who's on your whiteboard will see the timer and be able to work at the same time on activities all together. So that's exciting. We're really stoked to see what you do with all these things, and I will hand it back off to Mike.
Great. Well, thank you, Emma. Okay, so for those of you that know me, you'll know that I'm a big OneNote fan. And one of the top requests that we've heard for the last few years is, can you guys make desktop OneNote, the 365 version, be able to look like all the other versions of OneNote? So things like make it look like the web app, Windows 10 app, Mac, iPad. So just this week, we've rolled out the ability to set, we call it vertical tabs. In the view menu of OneNote, there's a new option called Tabs Layout. So you can switch from the horizontal section tabs on the top and the pages on the right. It'll switch everything over on the left. So the notebooks, the sections, the pages, and it looks a lot more like the other versions of OneNote. And you can choose either version, so we're not forcing anything on anyone. That has rolled out to our current channel customers, and also it's on Insiders if you're on Insider. And if your school rolls out things every 6 months, then it might take a little while, but it is rolled out now. Then we're going to move over to Windows 11. So there are some recent updates. If you have Windows 11, the latest updates have some really nice new improvements. I'm just going to show a couple quick ones here. I'm going to share my desktop, and give me just a moment here. Now, the first one is going to be that we have a new snipping tool update. So if you go here and type snipping, your good friend, the snipping tool, we've added the ability to record video. So right here, historically, you've had the camera. The new option is snip video. So if I go here, I'm going to pull up OneNote, and I'm going to do a screen recording of my OneNote. So I'm going to hit new, and the whole screen goes little disabled mode, and you just click and draw the square. So I want to draw right here over my OneNote, and then go hit start. And you'll notice a little countdown, the 3, 2, 1. And now anything I do in this little, you can see the red dotted line, that's my little recording window. I can drag this around. Maybe I'm going to make this a little bigger, make it smaller. So I'm doing my screen recording. And then I just hit the little red stop button up at the top to stop recording. And it immediately pops it into the snipping tool. And you can see here there's a little video recording that happened. So I'll make this a little bigger. If I hit play, it's going to play back what I was doing in that window. So it's playing my little video. It's an MP4. And I'll hit pause. If you want to save that, you just go up here and hit the save button. You can save it. You can share it. So built-in screen recording, great for little how-tos when you're sending out, hey, here's how to do such and such. It's just right there in the snipping tool. The other update that's kind of nice is you now have tabs in Notepad. If you're a Notepad user, you can go hit the plus here and add as many tabs as you want. So if you have multiple, instead of having like 5 little Notepad windows open, you only need 1 window open, and you can save your different text right here in Notepad. So it's a small but handy feature. Just to let people know, we have lots of other links in this deck, the latest blogs, the latest information, and I'm just going to leave this deck up with where we are in the download this PowerPoint. So if you want to get a copy of this, share it with your friends, with your neighbors, with your educators, with your school. This whole deck is available, and it's going to also, this recording will be on YouTube on our Microsoft channel.